All right, g'day, and welcome to another episode of the Wing It podcast. I don't know if this is a big episode, but episode 10,
Yeah,
2 digits.
Double digits.
Huge.
How good is that? Remember when you were like a kid and then you'd hit double digits and everyone would be like, oh,
it's
how do
huge.
you feel so old and everything.
Maybe we're feeling old now.
Yeah, I feel like I've been doing this for years now. So
Feels like it. Well, 10 straight weeks. It's quite impressive, isn't it?
yeah,
So,
exactly right. So yeah, pretty impressive. And we've done bonus episodes along the way as well. And
have.
we're providing you with all the good stuff. So be very happy.
10 down, and we'll wait for the next big 50. That'll be the next one we'll celebrate, isn't it?
Yeah,
So,
I guess so. Yeah,
guess
I reckon we'll celebrate every single one we do. But oh well, 50 is the next milestone. Yeah.
but it works. Episode 10, double digits, and we are having today the quarterly,
Yeah.
way too early award show for the AFL 2021 season.
Exactly.
So we've got quite a few awards. We've got awards we will go through. I'll get onto that later in the show. But we'll start off with normally, obviously our review of the week that was.
Yep.
We'll have our players of the week. We actually remembering this time, and a couple of juicy
We're
ones.
on a streak now. That's 2 in a row.
Not bad. Then we've obviously got our preview of next week and our hot wings, and we'll fit the awards show somewhere in the middle of that. So, without any further ado, we'll kick off with the review of last week.
Exactly.
And
it was a great round.
It wasn't
I
too
enjoyed
bad,
it.
was it?
No, I really, really enjoyed this round.
Well, we'll kick off with the Friday night. Obviously, no Thursday nights anymore. So reacts. Dogs and Giants. Stop laughing at me. Anyway, Dogs and Giants.
Yeah.
I think I tipped Giants on the show last week. I didn't tip them in my tips, but I said Giants. I thought that Giants would come out to play a little bit better, but I guess the Dogs just really showed their class yet again.
Yeah, and you were bang on last week. You said about how there's no really aggressors in the side to keep that rivalry going. And yeah, you were bang on. There wasn't really any like fierceness in the contest, was there?
Felt a bit flat, didn't it?
Yeah,
From what we've seen.
Yeah, exactly. From what we were sort of expecting, it didn't really live up to the hype.
No.
But no, Toby Crean got into Easton Wood and Bont a little bit, but that was about it, to be honest. And the Giants were really disappointing, and
Yeah, they were.
I think the Doggies just showed their class once again and showed that they're like probably top 2 teams to beat right now. So
Yeah, they are definitely a top 4 lock no matter what now coming into the season,
easily,
I think.
easily.
When you're 6-0, obviously puts you in great stead, but they've played some decent teams as well, so
Yeah.
I just think, I can't see them falling out of top 4.
No.
But obviously, probably the biggest news out of this game is Josh Dunkley. 12 weeks was the last I've read. It's
Yeah.
going to be at least
3 months
3
sort
months.
of time. Yeah,
that's the season
I
till
was
finals.
so upset about this because remember, I don't know if you remember, but I called when he came off. I was like, he's popped his shoulder out. They're not going to send him back on 100%. Popped it back in, sent him back on no strapping for whatever reason. They're up 30 points, and he
Dumb in the end.
when he did it again. So
And
I
now it's
don't-
an AC joint, last I heard, I believe. So
yeah, full shoulder Rico. So I don't know, like if that second dislocation had anything to do with making it worse or anything like that.
I'm sure they'll make it better. But
No, yeah, you're not wrong.
But I guess if there's any team that can cover a position of that, it's probably Western Bulldogs.
Yeah, exactly.
So obviously you can't really replace someone like Dunkley's tackling and presence on the ball, but you can replace that position pretty easily. So it's not a huge blowout. I'm not going to say, they're done now. They're not top 4. I think it just means Lockie Hunter gets more touches now.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
Treloar fully goes midfield.
I think
or
Treloar's gonna dominate.
Libba starts getting even more of the ball than he already is.
Yeah.
So on the flip side for Dogs, it's a position out of probably the perfect position they could have had an injury at. They'd much rather Dunkley get injured than say a Josh Bruce or a Alex Keith.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
But good win by the Dogs. They got the job done, and so they should really.
Yeah, it was a great win, and yeah, we sort of expected that from them. But yeah, on to the next game.
Now the next game is just loading.
It was the Eagles versus the Geelong Cats.
Well, I think West Coast kicked the first 2 goals of the game, or they were in the lead.
They did.
They were in the lead somewhere in that first quarter, and they just went. They fell asleep. Unbelievably fell asleep.
I think the first quarter, the score ended. It was like 26-22, something
20
like
to
those lines.
15, West Coast way, a 5-point lead.
Yeah, and they ended up scoring like 16 more points for the rest of the game. It was just
West Coast scored 2 goals since quarter time, and Geelong slapped on 18.
18. Oh,
19,
my God.
sorry. 19 goals to 2 in the last 3 quarters. That's absurd.
This scared me. Like
This scared me
they're a genuine contender. Like we are the kings of overreacting. That's why we're doing a way too early awards show.
Yeah, of course.
Jack Bowes didn't make it, unfortunately, for the award show. Just saying,
the invite just must have been lost in mail or something or other.
I don't know.
No other reason why he wouldn't be here, Jack
Like
Bowes.
we took that photo with him, and then we didn't hear from him again. So
But when you're the inaugural player of the week for the Winger podcast,
exactly, he is.
you make yourself known.
He's our hero. So
he is. He's my dad. So
but I don't know why we're talking about Jack Bowes for too long. But no, yeah, we're overreacting 1 week to them. But I think with Jeremy Cameron and how he slotted right into the team, they're a real force to be reckoned with, and far out. They were good. And the Eagles, I said it last week, and I'll say it again. They're soft as butter. Adam Simpson. What did I say to come out and complain? He came out and complained. He was saying, Matthew Lloyd's being rude to us in the media. I don't like the comments. He's saying, shut up, Simo. Just stop speaking. Go back to Perth. You're in Perth this week. You're in, just coming out of lockdown. Stop crying. I didn't want to talk about this game before it happened. Don't want to talk about it after it happened. But what did I say about these bloody Eagles? They lost by nearly 100 points, and they're absolutely shocking.
Well, away from home, they're not much of an eagle, are they? They're a bit more of a, what would you call them, a pigeon? A seagull?
That's rude to pigeons.
No, they're rude to pigeons, jeez.
I've seen stronger pigeons.
Oh, far out.
But I reckon this is a sign of what's to come. They won't make finals this year. I've already said it.
Nah.
And this leads on to my hot wing, which I'll get onto later. But Jesus, the Eagles going nowhere at the moment.
I'm going to read more into this game about Geelong being good than Eagles being bad for me. Yeah. So I think Geelong, they finally put together. They've had an average season so far. Maybe Geelong are the real deal, but we'll see.
Maybe. We'll see if they can string it together for a few weeks, and then we'll come back to it. But the next game,
we nailed it.
We were so confident on it, and I didn't even put it in Matt's multi for whatever reason.
Yeah, that was dumb. But we called this, very happily called this.
We did.
Gold Coast Suns upset the Swans, not just by a little bit, a 40-point win.
Huge.
It was game over pretty early on. I think after by quarter time, you thought, maybe it's a game. Half time, it was over.
Yeah.
Gold Coast really, really played very well. And I think we saw this coming for two reasons, dare I say. Gold Coast had to win a game.
Yep. They're hungry.
And they're a better team than what they've been putting out.
Absolutely.
And now Suns, with their injuries and their kids, the kids are getting exposed and the injuries are taking their toll.
Yeah.
And then I think that's the main reason, the injuries taking their toll. You remove Dane Rampy from any team in the AFL, you're in trouble.
Yeah, exactly right. And far out, the Swans just got swarmed with the tackles. It was ridiculous. The Swans won the clearances by it was something ridiculous. They won by 40, and they won the hitouts. The Suns had 22 hitouts for the game.
Far out. Yeah. Oh, I think Callum Sinclair put up some stupid
50
numbers.
He had 50 hitouts to all of the Suns combined 22.
Yeah, that's the issue with Gold Coast, isn't it? And Zach Smith's playing not VFL, whatever it's called.
NEFL,
whatever it's. I think AFL Reserve comp now, whatever it is.
Called, yeah.
He's playing that this week, so he won't be back next week either.
Yeah.
So, but then again, I think Brody Grundy would kill him next week. Anyway, but no, great win by Gold Coast.
Unreal from the Suns. Great win, and they just didn't allow any of the young kids to get off the chain. Chad Warner played well, but none of the rest of them played well. It was just Sydney's sort of top three that were dominating, and that's not really going to do much damage, unfortunately.
No, and I'm just alluding to him now, and we will speak about him soon. Well, I will speak about him soon regardless. But Touk Miller, very quietly putting away a very, very impressive season. A huge game yet again.
And who have they got this week?
They have got Collingwood.
Exactly. And the bloke is going to put up 40 touches.
I just think he might. I think he might have 20 tackles and 40 touches. It might be something dumb. So, Touk Miller, 0.8% ownership on fantasy right now. He is a POD and he's a top 6 player as of right now.
Yep.
So, top 8, I believe. Him. So did I. I don't have the balls to do it.
No, neither do I.
No, but very impressive season by him so far. And I think Gold Coast, that's the win they needed to get back on track. So, things looking up for Gold Coast, and I love them.
Yep, and you're welcome for the underdog tip. So everyone out there who
no worries,
followed
guys.
the Wing It podcast tips, you're probably top of your tipping competition like I am.
Yep.
But yeah, well done. Stay tuned for more tips.
Now on to the next game. Carlton and Lions. I obviously tipped the Blues here, and at quarter time I was feeling not too bad. And then at half time I was still half okay. And then the Lions just put on their... Lions turned it on as a good team should.
Yeah, they really showed their class. Even when Neil went out, players like McCluggage stepped up, and all their defenders really stepped up as well. I know Harry Mackay kicked 6, but that doesn't really mean much in Marvel under these new rules. But yeah, they just really stepped up, and even some of their kids like Devon Robertson played really well.
He did.
And everyone just played their roles.
Yeah, no, you're right. I I think I have to eat my words now with Lions. I was ready to write them off,
definitely.
and I said, well, we're going to see over the next month if they want to earn back my trust, and I think they have. So
yeah, their line was my bet of the week.
yeah, it was.
And it was
they
only
got it
like
comfortably 7.5. I think it might have closed at 7.5. I think it closed at. Carlton were getting smashed late. They were liking Carlton. I think it dropped down to even 5s or something for a bit there.
Yeah.
But so I think it closed 7. But Brisbane, I think they're back on track, and I think Carlton are well and truly off track now.
I
think I'm going to put a line through them now.
No, you can't put a line through them yet, just because of the quality. What do you mean a line through them?
I think their final's done.
Oh, well.
I mean, I had them sitting 4th. There's a lot for me to say, but I can't trust them anymore. I've trusted them too much now, and I've been burnt 5 times pretty much.
Yeah.
I think they're 2 wins, 4 losses, something like that.
Yeah.
I've been burnt 4 times, and these are games they should be winning. I mean, losing to Collingwood, you look at that form line now, that's a really bad loss.
Really bad loss.
So,
and the next 3 games aren't easy. They might go 0-3 in the next 3 games.
And all they've been is Fremantle.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Carlton,
Fremantle and Gold Coast.
it's a penciled line, but geez, they're not feeling. I'm eating my words with that top 4 call of Carlton. But Lions back on track, but Neil out, huge. Obviously, you lose a Brownlow medalist from any team, that's huge.
Yep.
We'll see how good they are without Neil this weekend when they take on Port Adelaide on a Saturday night. That's shaping to be a bit of a blockbuster. But,
it should be a really good game, actually. I'm really keen for that.
But anyway, moving on to the next game. Now, Saturday night, I'll let you kick it off.
Well, Saturday night, it's always a blockbuster, Anzac Day Eve. Honestly, you might have to stop me here. But the Demons, I said they'd win 40 plus, or to win by 30. 34.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, it wasn't too far off once again. We're just pumping teams at the moment. It doesn't matter who it is. 3-time premiers, get out of the way. It doesn't really matter. Players like Cozzy Piggott, getting into them, loving that.
He really got into after that goal. It looked over the top for me, but
I loved it.
I love it too, but that was questionable. But carry on.
And Charlie Spargo backing him up. You got Dogger Jackson kicking a couple of snags, and bloke ran 15 kilometres. He's like 6'6".
Dogger Jackson did.
Yes.
Wow.
He's got a tank on him.
Far out. That's really impressive, actually.
And he had the same amount of hit outs as Maxi Gawn.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, so, really great game, didn't he? I did not notice him that much. That's huge.
100 DT points.
Wow.
So, yeah, he dominated. Doggy Jackson could be one of the best players in the league in the next sort of 10 years. Honestly, he's that good. You got players like Tommy McDonald playing his role immensely. You got Stephen May, misses 1 week with a fractured orbital bone. Comes in and holds Tom Lynch to... Oh, wait, did Tom Lynch play? Oh, no, I don't think he did. No, he did.
Well, regardless.
0 goals, 0. It was shocking. No,
it was either him or Revolt, wasn't it?
He actually owns key forwards. He has them for dinner and breakfast. It's ridiculous. And then you got Jake Lever. He's probably the best defender in the competition right now, form-wise. You got Trent Rivers dominating. And I don't even need to mention Petrarca, Oliver, Gawn. But Christian Salem is the man I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. What an absolutely... Just a breakout performance. Yeah. I was amazed.
He was very good.
I've been waxing lyrical about him for years. He's one of my favourite Demons. 39 touches, stupid kicking efficiency, had a goal, could have had 2 to be fair, but ended up setting up, I think it was Dogger Jackson, in the goal square. And just an unbelievable player. Almost deserved the medal.
I say he's almost stiff.
Yeah, it was pretty stiff. And he's actually, he's the second highest ranked Demon in the coaches' votes this year.
There you go.
Above Petrarca.
Oh, above Truck.
Yeah.
Gawn's above him, aren't
they? Gawn's above him. So, Petrarca, he's added a new dimension. Salem's added a new dimension to his game. He's getting the run with role a little bit as well, where he's running off players like Dusty a tiny bit, and then just dominating them and abusing their lack of defensive ability. And then he's coming with the run through the wing, and Langdon's allowed him to do that. And
Langdon's been a huge enabler for your team.
Yeah, Langdon's been massive. So all the boys really stepped up, and I love to see today the Demons posted that that Choco Williams was still going through kicking drills with them. So they're keeping their heads down and working, even though we're 6-0 and the lid is very much off. But yeah, what more can I say than we've already won the flag.
We'll see how we go when you start playing some real teams without Richmond, without
what
Dusty.
Do you mean?
Anyway.
He played for 3 quarters. Michael Hibberd just tagged the shit out of him.
Oh,
dominated.
Get you rolled up. No, very good win.
Anyway.
Moving on.
The next game. We don't even have to speak about it.
We'll just skip over this game. Freo beat North by 50. Well done.
Jack Zeeble, gun.
Jack Zeeble lost by 50.
Fantasy pick.
It's...
He's must have. I've got him in this week. He's must-have.
He's got a 50 break even, so dare I say, he's must-have because of that.
He'll make 100k in the next week, and that's not even what you want him for.
But I'm skeptical just because I think teams will look at it now and go, okay, he's had like 30 touches for like 4 straight weeks. We've got to start like cutting him out a bit.
But he's not doing anything with the touches.
But they're going to start putting someone on him.
There's no point.
I know, there almost is no point.
They want him to kick so they can just get it straight back into the 50.
All he's getting is just a kick out. He's either taking the kick out or he's getting the little chip kick in the corner, and that's all it is.
Yeah,
but I think teams will start thinking, all right, we don't want a player getting 30 touches regardless of how useful or how stupid they are.
Yeah.
So I think it will slow down.
But his next 2 games, he's got the Demons, who will not tag him, and he's got Collingwood. It's game over.
I think you want to see North Melbourne up against the best teams for Zeeble, because then he's going to get more of the ball. So you don't want to see a game that them against, I don't know, Gold Coast or something where they might have a chance of winning.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but no, anyway, Zeeble, 170, peaked out. Might be the biggest score of the year. I don't think we'll see a score like that again. If we do...
It'll be Maxi gone.
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
You don't see too many 160 pluses. You only see a handful per year. So
very impressive stuff from Zeeble.
I guess it's impressive.
But
to lose by 50 points still. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Hawks and Crows. We called this again. We called the Hawks. Dare I say you tipped the Crows?
No,
I tipped Hawks.
I tipped Hawks.
I said the week before. Sorry.
No, definitely tipped Hawks. Yeah,
we both backed Hawks in here pretty comfortably.
Very keen on it. They've got a 77% win percentage at UTAS Stadium, so I was all over it. It was easy for me to pick them, but far out. It was getting shaky when the Crows kicked 15 straight. I
think it was 14 or 15 straight in the end, wasn't it?
It was 16 straight without a miss because they had a rush behind. Yeah. It was 14-0. So,
imagine kicking more goals and losing the game. It's pretty hard to do.
Ridiculous.
It's really hard to do.
It is very, very hard to do.
So that just shows to me that Crows were lucky that how good their goal kicking was to even be in the game.
Yep.
Obviously 15-12 to 16-3. It's not even close. It's 27 scoring shots, not even 20.
Yeah.
So Hawks were in control, just couldn't finish their dinner, and Crows really well and truly finished their dinner. Great signs for Crows though, because it shows that they can actually stay in game despite not being the better team at all. Just purely due to their goal kicking.
Great. That's great to see, especially away and at a hard stadium to play.
It's a hard stadium to kick out in general because of the wind.
Exactly. You saw how bad the wind was.
Towards the end there. Yeah,
towards the end. And wow, the Hawkers, though, really impressed me.
Yeah, Amira looked unstoppable.
Oh, that last quarter he took over. He made it his mission. But I think all of the talk lately about the Hawks being one of the worst lists in the AFL, I've heard talk of them being worse than North Melbourne in terms of youth and talent. I think all that disrespect's really come to a head, and they've just decided, all right, we just need to get beat in games, even if we're not going to win them. And they were lucky enough to win this one. But I bet someone, Mitch Clark, at half time, I bet him that it was like $2 or $3. I forgot. That the Hawkers would win when they were down like 35.
I think they're 32, something like that.
And look, they won. I knew it. I knew it would happen. No. Alistair Clarkson's not going to get pumped like that. So
no, I was pretty confident that bet too.
But the fact that they kicked 14 goals, nothing,
and Riley
in the first half, and then kicked 2 goals, 3 in the second.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
It was just ridiculous.
And the kid called Thilthorpe kicking, was it 5 or 6 in the end? 5?
Yeah, 5. He dominated. Didn't even win the Rising Star.
Yeah, I'm not surprised actually. Young
Cozzy got Rising Star.
Yeah. I think whoever won that game probably would have got it personally. Yeah. But I mean, to be fair, let's be because his goal was pretty much in the goal square. Yeah. But regardless, great win by the Hawks. We tipped that one very well, and unlucky for the Crows. But
Crom just downward spiral for me.
Yeah, the pill patch is over. We called this 2 weeks ago, and now it's well and truly over.
Definitely is.
Pies and Bombers. I said the Bombers, and you couldn't believe it. But
I could not believe that many people were tipping the Bombers. It was everywhere, all in my tipping. All like you saying it, everyone was keen on it, and I just couldn't see it happening.
And that's no shine on the Bombers. That's my absolute huge disrespect of Collingwood. I see nothing I like in Collingwood.
No.
And it's funny when you still got Brodie Grundy and Scott Pendlebury in a team, and you're looking at it going, and Darcy Moore, and you're going,
yeah, exactly.
Write them off. Yeah. It's got to be something up top. Anyway, it's got to be coaching.
Yeah. Well, their top end talent is unbelievable. Any of this would just absolutely love to have it.
100%.
It's honestly...
And their kids are pretty good too.
I'm going to throw this out here. It's better top-end talent than Port Adelaide.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
No, I had to think about it, but I get what you mean. Like, Brody's a higher player.
yeah.
Side bum. Pendlebury.
Side bottom's better than Ollie Wines.
Yep.
Pendles is better than Boak.
Yep.
And Grundy's better than whoever you
Then Dusty Moore's better than any of our defenders.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Yeah, no, 100%.
They have a better top end list than Port.
Yeah.
But you look at when you
But it's that middle tier.
middle tier, the bottom,
It falls
like the
apart.
bottom 5 or 6 players, like honestly, would not get a game at any other club.
No, I like some of their kids. They've got some nice kids
Yeah,
coming
they're
through.
alright, yeah.
I think McRae could be something. I think McCreary's a really nice goal sneak.
Definitely. And great pressure in the forward.
Yeah, great pressure in the forward lines. But that middle tier is bad. Like players like Braden Sy, who didn't play on the weekend admittedly, but like he was supposed to be that middle tier, took over this year.
Trey Rusco.
Maynard's fallen off a cliff.
Yeah.
Like these middle tier players who are supposed to be, pushing that high tier, being, enough.
Yeah.
Really disappointing.
And that's what you need when you've got good kids coming in. Like Dacos has really cemented himself, as you said, McQuarrie, and also you've got young McRae coming in as well, who's looking really good.
Caleb Poulter making his debut this weekend too.
Making his debut this weekend, so best of luck to him.
Yeah.
When you've got those kids coming through and you've got that top end talent, you really need to be getting that mid sort of tier talent popping, just so you can get to winning games. But hats off to the Dons for winning this one.
Yeah.
On Anzac Day, big occasion. Darcy Parish was ridiculous. That is one of the best games. I would say that's the best game that I've seen anyone play in the last sort of 5 years.
He was everywhere, wasn't he?
It was ridiculous.
I called Heppel for the medal when I was thinking at half time, thinking, you know what? Parish has killed it, but Heppel has a sniff.
Yeah,
At
not
three-quarter time, I thought Heppel still has a sniff. And then Parish goes and bangs in 2 goals in the last quarter, I think it was, and just got another 10 odd touches to...
42 touches, 9 clearances, 2 goals.
You can't say no medal to that, can you?
No,
but Heppel,
it was unreal.
fantastic game. I was very...
Great game, yeah.
9 times out of 10, I think that wins the medal.
Yeah,
Heppel's
not wrong.
game, 9 times out of 10. So
There's about 3 players who could have won the medal.
Yep.
That weren't Darcy Parish, so it was very impressive. Like, just shows how impressive his game was. But I called Collingwood to win, and I called Jack Crisp to get the medal.
He was their best player.
He was their best player. So I went 0 for 2, but I couldn't have been closer.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Anyway,
hats off to Darcy Parish. Got him in fantasy draft. Easy free agent to pick up. Absolute gun. 156. Thanks for coming.
Well played. Last game of the round, my Port and Saints. I was very scared about this game because St Kilda always seem to play very well at Adelaide Oval. The last two times
we did mention that, yeah.
Beaten us and took a go off the side. Well, I don't know what to take from this. Port actually that good of a team that we're putting away teams like Coleman and Saints, who I would consider danger games.
Yep.
And we're flogging them, or are they both that bad?
I think
it's a mixture of both for me.
No, I don't think it shows a single thing about Port Adelaide. There's not anything to read into it about. I'm not saying Port Adelaide are bad. I think they're top 4 side, but Saints are in a world of hurt.
They are bad.
It is. I don't know if they can come back from this.
They are bad.
They can't make finals this year if they look like this.
I think it's done now.
Something drastic has to happen.
I was live at the game, and there was one player who I did not see touch the ball, and I actually looked at the stats. I think he had minimal, but Brad Crouch could not get near the ball. He finished with 49 Dream Team points, I believe, and I have him in one of my drafts. And we were talking about him just a couple of weeks ago, thinking like getting in my classic.
Yeah, like he's coming back. He's
I
tackling
did not
and everything.
see him near it. I don't think I saw him once. Ollie Wines had just got him out of the game completely.
Yeah,
and
he couldn't run with anyone.
No, and even Jack Steele. Jack Steele stands up still, but that midfield, who I thought had ball winners everywhere, Billings and Ross and Gresham's obviously out, but
and Bradley Hill.
I thought he was going to be. I thought he might be an All Australian this year, Bradley Hill. And Steele and Crouch, I thought this is going to be a great midfield mix with Rowan Marshall. Oh my God, it was hard to watch. I mean, great for a Port fan, but gee, St Kilda, that is... the line is... I think I had it in pencil last week, now it's in pen.
Yeah, I reckon it has to be. They can't come back from this and make finals, I don't think. I think it will take something drastic. Unless their schedule for the rest of the season is unbelievable, I'd be very, very shocked if they can come back and make finals.
To kick 5 goals in the whole entire game of football, when your season's on the line pretty well, it's very embarrassing. Against an undermanned Port side as well.
Yeah, exactly right. It's plenty of injuries.
Very, very embarrassing for St Kilda. And I think if you're a St Kilda fan, you're very upset at the moment.
Yeah, you are.
But anyway, that was
That's the round that was.
Round 6. Yeah. You know what? Now I look back at it, actually wasn't too bad of a round. But a lot of 30-point wins though. It wasn't a lot of tight ones, was it?
But like, a lot of games that did feel tight, like even the Carlton.
Yeah, they felt tighter than what they were.
Yeah, exactly right. But on to the next round.
No, we'll cap off the end of that round. We'll go to our players of the week.
I like it.
Would you like to start off with your player of the week, Dogger?
Yeah, well, I already mentioned it. The lid is off at the moment, so I'm going to be massively biased and take Christian Salem. But I don't even think it's biased. You're picking a player who 39 touches, a goal, was unbelievable, and was all of our sort of push and attack off half back. We ended up having 6 coast-to-coast goals, which I think is the record this season. So he's just really showing how pivotal he can be to sort of our attack and our backline as well. He's just a level head we can go to. So for me, it's Salem's best game of his career, breakout game. Everyone's realising how good he is this season, and he's my player of the week.
No, very well done. My player of the week, despite the loss and despite the voice crack, despite the loss, I've taken Lockie Ash as my player of the week.
I love it.
I think Lockie Ash is coming to a bit of his own now. However, I think it will halt now that Whitfield is back, which is a shame.
Yeah, is he coming back this week 100%?
100% back, whether it's VFL or AFL, I'm not sure, but 100% playing. Sorry, NEFL, whatever it's called. But yes, Lockie Ash, 35 touches and 15 uncontested marks.
Huge.
I called him for the most touches in Group 2 to my mates at $12 odds, and he smashed it home. I thought he might get 26 and that'd be enough.
I did say I loved it.
Didn't expect 35.
No, not at all.
No, great game by Lockie Ash. He's really coming into his own. I hope he's able to hold this form once you include Lockie Whitfield to that team, because he is the pig out of that halfback flank and the king of uncontested marks, Lockie Whitfield. So, but no, Lockie Ash, great game. Hats off to you, mate. Congratulations. But disappointing loss, but a very, very impressive game.
Yeah, very impressive from young Ash, and sign of things to come. Hopefully, Whitfield doesn't take too much away from him. So
no. Now we'll move on to our round 6 preview. Dogger, kick us off with the first game of the round.
Yeah, so first game of the round, we've got...
round 7.
Yeah, we got the Doggies versus Richmond. So this one will be played at the G.
I wish Dusty's in this game, because then we could get a real, what's one after, analysis, I guess, on the Western Bulldogs.
Yeah, exactly right. But even with Dusty back, I reckon Doggies would just be too
really
good. Yeah, I'm very, very keen on this game. From a betting standpoint, like even Bulldogs paying $1.50.
They are that much favourites.
Yeah, so 11-point favourites. So it's pretty big, and you can't really count out a Richmond team.
Never.
Who's their midfield?
I don't care.
Who's their midfield right now?
Trent Cotchin and Shane Edwards, and probably who knows else.
Oh, I can't stand. I think they're going to
Collier
get...
Dawkins making his debut.
I think they're going to get bullied in the midfield, and there's not going to be anyone who can really stand up in that midfield.
Wow.
So, yeah, I think the Doggies will take this one by a fair margin as well.
Wow, well, I'm taking the Tigers for me.
What?
How many times have we taken the Tigers, gone against the Tigers when they've been undermanned? I think back to that Port Adelaide game at Adelaide Oval only a couple of years ago.
That, yeah.
No
like
revolt.
round 5.
No, and Port were flying. I think Port were 4-0. No revolt. No Dusty. No Cochin. No anyone. And they pulled it out their arse and won it. I think Richmond too good of a team. And I said this last week. It's very hard to go 6-0. It's even harder to go 7-0.
Yeah.
I think this is when they will stop. So Richmond for me at the G. If that Marvel, I think I'd say a different story. But at the G, I'll be taking the Tigers and definitely taking their 11-point line. I think that's fantastic.
There you go. Good betting value there, Cam reckons. So
now, this game I think could be a cracker.
It really could be.
Pies and Suns at the G. And Gold Coast record at the G, I don't know off the top of my head, but I'm going to assume it's probably only 10 games played for maybe 1 win.
I would say, yeah, it's
If
absolutely
that,
shocking.
it would be terrible. But I think the Pies are terrible. And I think the Gold Coast are a better side.
So do I, and I think they're hungrier.
And what are the odds?
$2.80 for the Suns.
I'm taking Gold Coast line.
Oh, ridiculous. Their line at the moment is sitting at 12.5.
I'm taking that line 100%.
So you're getting them a 2-goal head start when they've got better forwards who are more on form. They've got hungrier players. Probably a better midfield at this point.
Yeah, I think so.
Brody Grundy's the only one here that
I think he might have 200 fantasy points this week.
Yeah, he could absolutely tear shreds through this Suns team.
He might go nuts.
And really, like, he's coming up against Burgess.
He honestly might just beat Zeebles 170, and I would not be shocked.
I wouldn't be surprised if he just gets up there. Honestly has like sub 10 hit outs. Yeah. He just grabs every ball.
Like 30 odd touches and 10 hit outs. Yeah, I wouldn't shock me
Why not?
either. Why not? However, I don't think Brody Grundy wins games enough for anyone. I don't think Ruckman win games anymore. So I think I'm going to take the Suns.
Yeah.
I'm off the Collingwood bandwagon. I'm off the Collingwood train completely.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think if you put Collingwood under pressure, which every team that they've lost to has. I mean, Essendon brought the heat and they lost.
Yeah, they can't handle the heat.
Who didn't bring the heat to Collingwood? Carlton. Carlton couldn't bring pressure to anyone, and that's why Collingwood beat them. Gold Coast will bring the pressure. When you've got Tuke Miller and Hugh Greenwood, 2 of the top 3 tacklers in the AFL, that's pressure.
Yeah,
Penderbury doesn't have his time. And then players who, their second tier midfielders won't have time. Finlay McRae, poor bugger's going to probably get beaten around.
Yeah,
and
he
Polton's
probably will.
going to get beaten around just because of the tackling pressure.
Yeah. And like even the bigger bodies, like Touk Miller's a big stocky unit.
And he's fast.
And then you got Greenwood is just huge. Yeah. And even Noah Anderson's just silky on the outside. So they've sort of got it all going for them in the midfield.
I like it.
But I'm going to be taking the Pies on this one.
Trying them again.
Purely based off of Brodie Grundy just dominating. Like, I don't think you can go past it.
No,
he's another midfielder, and it's going to be hard. Like, no one's really going to tackle him in there.
No, no one will.
It's going to be hard to even run with him with Burgess. I think Burgess around the ground is going to get dominated, and
I think so too.
I'm going to take the Pies only just.
Yeah,
I don't really like it, but at the G as well, I think they bounce back game. So see how we go with that.
No, beautiful. All right, 2 split tips in a row here. Now, we'll be going with 3 in a row. Crows and Giants in Adelaide. Crows return Adelaide. I'm going to let you go first.
Yeah. I don't know about this game. I think this is probably the hardest game. There's a few hard games to tip this round, to be fair.
Very hard round for me.
It's a hard round. I don't know. I've already done my tips. So I don't even know who I've tipped. I think I'm going to go with the Giants.
Yeah, likewise.
I don't know. It's one of those games. I'm stuck on it. I don't know. Both sides sort of. One's going, as we said about a couple of weeks ago with, it was Collingwood and Giants. One side's going down, one side's slightly going up.
Yeah. And
they're sort of meeting in the middle at this point. And I think, Toby Green might just sort of take the piss out of their back line. But even like a Finlayson, who's quite a big unit up forward, could really dominate Adelaide Oval. So we'll see how we go. I'm going to take the Giants only just and not very confidently because they got beaten last year by the Crows. So, I'm going to take the Giants.
Yeah, I'll be taking the Giants as well. I think the Crows lose to Hawthorn by 50-odd if Phil Thorpe doesn't pop up out of nowhere and kick 5 straight.
True.
He won't kick 5 straight this week.
And they won't kick as straight as they did.
No, they won't. So if you look at that form line, they lost to Hawthorn by 40-odd. And that doesn't do it for me. And think Giants are good enough. Whitfield potentially are back in. Obviously, we'll be waiting on team lineups, especially for GWS, because they might be having a few players coming back from injury. And Crows will have a couple going out. I think Will Hamill with his ankle will be out. Another debutant Worrell coming in. So, I'll be taking Giants, and I think they'll get the job done. Giants have a very good record here at Adelaide Oval as well. I know whenever they play Port, they always give us a pain in the ass game. Remember, they beat us by 1 point only a couple of years ago. So, good record at Adelaide Oval for the Giants. And like I said 3 weeks ago, the fun games are over for Crows.
Yeah, for sure.
It's over. So, Giants for me. Next game, St Kilda and Hawthorn, battle of the shit.
Another hard game. Another
tough game to tip.
Really tough game. I'm going to take the Saints in this. I think they're going to bounce back, and I think it's reasonable that they will bounce back. You've seen the Hawks can get a lot of goals kicked on them, especially by power forwards, as we saw last week. You saw Elliot Himmelberg, Phil Thorpe, and Tex all have a piece of the pie. So I think St Kilda is just going to be a little bit too much for them in the front end. And players like Max King and Tim Membry are just going to have a bit of fun with the back line of the Hawks. So, for me, it's going to be the Saints. This is a little bit of a hard tip, but I think I'll be taking them quite confidently just because of that forward line, like the pure dominance. So
I tend to agree. I think Saints will... God, if they lose this, then I'm done. If they lose this, I don't think I'll tip them again until they play North Melbourne or Crows.
I
won't tip them again. So
even against the Crows, I might not even tip.
I think Saints will take them comfortably as well, actually. I'm not sure what the line is, but I think Saints will have to bounce back.
Yeah, it's sitting about 10 at the moment. So
I'll be taking Saints. Pretty happy.
I like it.
Lions Port at the G.
It was a good game of the round.
Yeah, but last year we went up there in pretty similar form around the same time of the year. And they pumped us by 50-odd, I remember. It was an absolute shellacking, and Lachie Neale terrorised us. He's out this time.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the only reason why I'm tipping Port.
Only reason.
If Lachie Neale was in, I would tip Brisbane 110%.
Yeah.
But I think with him out, maybe Port. That's kind of levels that home factor a little bit just because he's their best player. You take out the best player of any team, it's going to hurt.
Yeah.
Same with Crows. Take out Ori Sloan, they've done nothing since. So, that's the only reason. Yeah, if he was in, I would tip against Port. I wouldn't, but I'll be tipping Lions. But no, Neale out, I'm in for Port.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with this. Oh, no, I'll go against you again. I'm going the Lions.
And I think we're a different team as we were this time last year, especially our defensive stocks. They might have a different forward line now. You've added in Danaher, but we didn't have a Lear.
No, very true.
And
And he has been so instrumental for you guys.
Huge.
All Australian, quite easily.
100%. And you laughed at me when I said he was an All-Australian chance before the season started.
I don't know if I laughed at you because I do love
You
Alirali.
went, shut up. But anyway, and I laughed.
Essentially.
But regardless, yeah, I'll be taking Port. I think Alirali is the difference maker here.
Yeah, I reckon the Lions might just be too strong, only because it's at the Gabba. Yeah. If it was at Adelaide Oval, I'd be quite easily taking Port.
Fairly cold.
Yeah, exactly. So, next game of the round?
Swans and Cats. We're taking the Cats. Can't knock that form line.
Nah, I think I might even take them 40 plus.
Yeah.
That's the only easy, or not the only easy, but one of the only easy games of the round for me. I think the Cats just showed too much class last week, and they're one of the top teams in competition if they're going to be playing like that each week. And I don't think Sydney can maintain the form they had earlier in the year that dipped a little bit.
Which is already over, I think.
Exactly. So I doubt that Geelong will lose this game. I'm pretty confident in them. And they're going to be part of Matt's multi as well. So
yeah, I'll be taking Cats, whatever their line is too. And I think their line might be relatively short just because it's at the SCG. So it might bring it down a couple goals.
It's about 12 again. So
yeah, that's nuts
most of them are.
I'll be happily taking Cats by 30 plus.
Yep.
On to the Sunday games. This should be a blockbuster. North Melbourne and Melbourne.
Look, I kid you not, North Melbourne are our hoodoo team. Or voodoo team, or whatever.
Voodoo team, yeah.
Yeah, big time. We can never beat them. There was some stupid streak. They'd won like 12 in a row up until last year. When we beat them, we were there. At Adelaide Oval, remember?
Yes,
that was strange. Too. North Melbourne versus Melbourne at Adelaide Oval.
That's right, yes.
But no, we beat them last year quite comfortably. I think in the last quarter we ran away with it. But I'll obviously be tipping Melbourne here. So honestly, get on us 100 plus. If it's at Marvel, 100 plus. Try 120 plus. It's meant to be in Hobart.
Yeah.
But because of the COVID things with them being in Perth last week, it might not be in Hobart.
Wow, so it's tough in arms, is it?
Yeah, so if it's in Marvel, I'll be taking us 100 plus, honestly. That's not me being an idiot. It's just a fast deck, so I think we'll dominate.
Well, North Melbourne have probably had their best two performances of the year. Obviously not last week, but they've been a bit more competitive than they were earlier in the year. But I still think you guys win this very comfortably. You might be the worst ever team to go 7-0, but you can only face who's in front of you. So
that is not true.
Very well done. Bombers and Carlton.
I know who you're taking in this.
I don't know if I do either. I don't know if I do.
No, you do. I know you hate yourself for it. But I'm gonna be taking the Blues. So you got John Worsfold in this week.
Against his old mob.
Perfect. He knows them back to front. He's been coaching up Rutten. And I think they played... We've said this before and we've said it again. Essendon played their grand final last week.
Yep.
I think Carlton need a win. And they're going to get it here against Essendon.
And a few potential ins as well. Nick Newman's potentially back in.
Yeah, I love Nicky Newman. Onions, they call him.
Not that I think that means anything to anyone at all.
Onions, they call him.
Why is that?
Because he cries all the time.
Yeah.
This is the truth.
Maybe,
shout out to Onions.
I think you've just made me tip Essendon. But no, I'll be tipping Carlton as well, unfortunately. They've pissed me off this year. But they've got to win this.
Yeah.
And Essendon, like you said, played their grand final last week. So, Blues, not confidently at all.
Yeah, fair enough.
Now, the Derby. West Coast and Freo, always a good game. And Freo have actually been pretty good when they're playing in Perth.
They have.
And you hate West Coast, but West Coast win.
Do you know what the odds are for this game?
No.
Take a guess.
I'm going to imagine, just because you said it like that West Coast are like $1.20 favourite.
$1.70.
$1.70?
Yeah.
Wow.
The other way. Yeah. I know. They're paying $1.70. So, to be fair, a little bit of value in that. But since they're so soft, I'm definitely going to be taking the Dockers in this one.
No, you're not.
I am.
Pardon?
I'm taking the Dockers.
Wow.
100%. Won't be worrying about the line or anything like that. I think the Dockers are in a little bit of form here. A little patch of form. They've stayed home in
beating
Perth.
North Melbourne.
Yeah, they've stayed home in Perth for the last week and a half. I reckon they're going to get up for this game. Derby's always close. You never know what happens. Maybe a bit of biffo between Brayshaw and Gaff. I don't know if they've sorted that out. Apparently they went for a round of golf, but who knows. I reckon, Nat 5's going to stand up, have a huge game, and they're going to win the Derby. Or Derby, whatever they call it over there.
Rightio. Well, I'll be taking the Eagles and Gaff medal, but yeah, right, okay. Well,
Nat 5 medal.
I don't think Eagles could lose 2 in a row, especially that disgracefully last week. They would have to kick up their bum. So
yeah, sure.
Anyway,
who's going to give it to them? Simo?
Probably Shuey.
He's soft.
But anyway, great game that will be. And, and I'm quite keen for this round of footy because at least Sunday has a good game at the end.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Saturday's got a good game at the end. And the Friday's going to be a good game. There's at least one good game every day.
Around. Yeah, exactly right.
Fantastic. All right, that is round 7. Am I right in saying that? Yes, round 7 over and done with. Now, we'll move on
Matt's
to...
multi, yeah?
Should we do the awards or Matt's multi first?
We'll do Matt's multi first.
We'll do Matt's multi first. Because it
look,
works.
Last week, it was a win. Sort of. Not really. Oh, we're going to call it a win. So it was a minor win.
We'll call it a win.
So I called the Hawks to win. May have called their line. I can't quite remember.
You called the line.
I called the Lions line, and I called Zach Merritt to get 30 touches. So what a win from Matt's multi. If you all got on it the way I got on it, where I didn't actually include the lines, then you're on.
And if you got on it the way Matt told the whole entire world through the Winger podcast, you would have lost. So
yeah, but I'm sure you didn't, because that's just silly.
No.
But no, it was
maybe you're in form.
It was a great win for Matt's multi. I'm gonna actually tip what I said this week as well. So this week we've got a really interesting one. So my favourite game of the round, I might even be taking a same game multi for this game.
Okay.
So I'm going to chuck in a cheeky Matt's same game multi. Is going to be Gold Coast midfielders. So get on Touk Miller, get on Greenwood, get on Noah Anderson, all for 25 touches. That'll be a nice little bet. But that is not Matt's multi. Matt's multi is Touk Miller, 30 touches.
Love it.
Guess how much that's paying?
A lot.
Guess how much?
How much?
$2.85.
Wow, I really like that.
That is ridiculous. He got like 35 last week.
He's averaging 27.5.
He's a gun. And Collingwood give up the most fantasy points
To anything now.
In every position apart from North Melbourne. I think they're actually above North Melbourne for mids, to be honest.
And I think they are for a lot of them.
And next leg is going to be Geelong line. So I think Geelong just dangerous last week. They're just going to outscore, like purely outscore. It doesn't matter where else on the ground they win or lose. I think just the amount of goals they're putting on the board, it's just going to dominate Swans, and I think Swans are really going to get a copper beating here.
Yeah.
And then we got Max Gawn for 20 touches.
I don't mind it.
Because he's been averaging about probably 17, 18 touches, maybe even more, to be honest.
Most probably.
But I think he's just going to be a menace around the ground. Goldstein won't be able to keep up with him. He's going to be going forward a lot with Doggy Jackson going into the ruck. I think Doggy Jackson's going to play a lot of ruck time. But Maxi Gawn, he's going to be sitting on the wing waiting for... What's he going to be waiting for?
What?
Jack Zeeble to boot out from the 50. He's just going to be waiting there. He'll take, honestly, like 11 marks.
Max Gawn's averaging 20.7 touches on the season.
There you go. Paying $1.50
and
for
North
20
give
touches.
up the most amount of fantasy points, bar Brisbane to Ruckman.
There you go. So Maxi Gawn, 20 touches. So I'll read out Matt's multi again. Goes Touk Miller, 30 touches.
Yeah.
You got Geelong line versus the Swans, and you've got Max Gawn for 20 disposals.
What's it come to?
$8.
That's your best one yet.
Would you believe it?
That's your best one yet.
Mate, I think every week is my best one yet.
No, it's your best one yet because you've got to win one now.
It's actually a very good one. So I'm
good.
quite confident in this one. Normally I am confident, but that doesn't mean anything. This week I'm actually confident. Gamble responsibly.
Now we move on to the very highly anticipated quarterly awards. We're way too early. Quarterly awards for the AFL this year.
So let's kick it off with the Premiership. So the Demons win the Premiership. Congratulations to the Demons. The lid is off.
Seriously saying that?
Yeah, dead serious. Like, I honestly think I've sort of had, when I've been driving, I've been like visualising me sitting in MCG watching the Demons win the Premiership with you. And then it would be against Port, and then you cry, but you go, nah, you know what, good stuff, mate. But then we just have a good night anyway. So, yeah, the Demons to win the Premiership. It's not even in there. I'll surprise you with that one. You love it.
Well, I'll just roll with who I said before the season started. It's Port. We look like the most biased fucking podcast ever.
We do.
God damn, I wish you didn't ask that question.
Let's move on.
Now let's move on to the next one.
The Brownlow medal.
We actually have got exactly the same here.
We have.
And it's for me right now, he won't win it, but for me right now, it's Christian Petrarca.
I'm the same. So I've gone Christian Petrarca. Not biased at all. I'm not wearing Demon shorts right now. I am. But Christian Petrarca for the Brownlow medal, I personally don't think he's going to win it in the long run.
No.
I just think we have too many good players to take votes off him. Max Gawn's going to poll really well this year. Obviously, you got Petrarca himself polling well this year. Salem is going to poll. And also players like Clayton Oliver is going to jump in there. Brayshaw, Langdon, Stephen May, Benny Brown when he kicks 10 in his first game. They're all going to take votes off of them. So I think Petrarca definitely at the moment is proven that he's the best player in the comp right now on form. So yeah, I'm going to be taking Petrarca.
Oh, summed it up perfectly.
Definitely. But
all right.
I think Ollie Wine's massive shout for the Brownlow.
Oh, you're jumping on my bandwagon now.
100% got him at $81. Huge.
All right, now on to the Rising Star. We've got split votes here. You've gone with...
You go first.
I've gone with Lockie Shoal, and I don't see any way he loses it from here, actually.
I nearly went with Lockie Shoal as well.
Averaging... These are his stats as of right now.
I do see a way he loses it, though.
22 touches, 4.5 inside 50s, nearly a shot on goal every game. He's been very, very solid. And I don't see any actually way from here on out that he doesn't win it because his role is so solidified.
Yeah.
Maybe when Crouch and Sloan come back, it might drop off a touch, but not really for me. So I think Shoal's pretty well a lock.
Yeah, I was very keen on Shoal as well. Got him in the dream team. Love Shoal. He won us a couple of dollars on the weekend as well.
Yes, he did.
And I just think his role might drop back just that little bit with Crouch and Sloan coming back in the next sort of 4 or 5 weeks, it looks like. So for this, I'm going to be going with Chad Warner. So Chad Warner has been absolutely tearing up, even when Sydney haven't been doing well.
Oh,
so
true.
He's maintained a great sort of bottom line throughout his game.
True.
Even when his fellow Swans rookies like Goulden and Braden Campbell have sort of dropped off, he's remained just really hungry and really finding the footy in a great way and being really impactful when he does it as well. So I'm going to be taking Chad Warner. I think in the long run, he's going to have the bigger role on the team. And yeah, I think he's going to be like a true game winner as the season goes on. So
not bad.
Chad Warner for me.
Now the Wingate Defensive Player of the Year, I've gone with Jacob Wiedering. I know Cohen are getting smashed, but could you imagine if he wasn't there? That's all I can say. Imagine if he wasn't there.
He's not even the best defender in their team right now.
I don't care.
Liam Jones is easily their better defender.
He's averaging 17 touches himself out of defence, which is very, very nicely. He's top 10 in the AFL for 50s, for rebound 50s, and he's number 1 in the AFL for 1%ers. Without him right now, it would be disgusting. So I'm still sticking with Jacob Wiedering, who's my early season call regardless, and I'm sticking with it.
Liam Jones had 14 intercepts.
Yes.
Like 2 games ago and had 11 the other game.
He's leading the AFL in 1%ers. I'm taking Jacob Wiedering. He's spoiling machine. He reads the play well and he rebounds very, very well. Better than anyone in that defence. Yeah. So Wiedering was my early season call and I'm sticking with it. I think Cohen will have a bit of a better second half or third half of the season because it's only a quarter way through. But no, I think without Wiedering, that team would be absolutely disgusting. They'd be North Melbourne without him.
Interesting. I think that's a big call. No, I'm going to be taking Jake Lever. It's not even biased. Jake Lever is honestly become one of the most elite defenders. Joel Taylor, another shout out. He's not going to like my bias on this show.
No.
But in this sense, it's not biased. You can agree with me. Jake Lever's been one of the best defenders in the league.
He's been very, very, very good.
And a lot of pundits have agreed with me. He's just game in, game out. Even with Maisie out that 1 week, or sort of 2 weeks, he's just dominated. He's not playing on the best forward, but he's coming off and helping out the other forwards, making Maisie and Tomlinson look a lot better than they are. Tomlinson actually isn't a very good defender, but he's playing really well this season, partly due to Lever. So yeah. He's leading in all sorts of stats. I don't have any stats on me.
Because he's not leading in any, but carry on.
But he is. But he's taken a huge leap this season. He will not be my Wingate Defence Player of the Year by the end of the year. I know it. But right now, up until this point, I can't put anyone past him.
Fair call. Now, surprise All-Australian. Here's I'm sticking yet again with my first ones I said at the start of the year who would be a surprise All-Australian.
Yeah.
And
Bradley Hill?
Stuck true to it. Not Bradley Hill. Lear.
Yeah. I agree. I think he's probably the only defensive lock apart from Jake Lever right now.
Yeah, he's taking Port Adelaide to the next level. Yeah. So without him, I think we'd be in a bit of a world of pain at the moment. And yeah, I don't have much else to say about Lear. He's been absolutely fantastic. He's averaging 70-odd touches, 5 rebounds, and he's in the top 15 in contested marks and 1%ers. Yeah, we aren't 5-1. We aren't 5-1 without him.
Yeah, and he can be a really great distributor as well.
Ball in hand, I feel comfortable with him.
Yeah, which has sort of been a weak point of his career, but I feel like he's just gained that confidence to take on the kick. And he normally takes on the player, but never would take on the really accurate kick. But he's really lacing people out now, so I completely agree with that. I think he's going to be an All-Australian lock. So
I think so too.
My player, I just love seeing this guy succeed. He's a great player to watch. Got David Mundy.
The granddad.
Yeah, the granddad. So he's just proven that age is just a number. He's going mental. They put him to the half forward a couple of years ago, the graveyard they call it.
Yeah.
But far out, he's come back into the midfield and he's dominating at the moment. Had 2 goals on the weekend, nearly 30 touches. He's getting about 27 touches a game. It's nearly a career high, and he's really adding a lot of goals into his arsenal, even when he's not playing forward. So it's been unbelievable for me this season. I think he's an AA lock right now. And I think Freo sort of got a pretty good trajectory this year and might sort of challenge for that 9-10 spot. I think that's where they'll fall, but they'll challenge for the 8 at the moment. So they're looking really good. And Dave Mundy for me.
Yeah, no, I have to agree. And now the Chemology Most Improved Player.
You like that I added that?
Do like that.
That's good. Sponsored by Chemology. Thank you very much
thank
for the sponsor.
Now, who wants to go first? We've got completely different ones.
You go.
Touk Miller. We alluded to him earlier.
Interesting.
He's my Most Improved Player. Now, Most Improved to me is you're improving on your stats for your career, aren't you?
Oh, not necessarily stats. It can be
everything.
How you're helping your team win and things like that as well.
Sure. Touk Miller averaging 27 right now touches. That's top 20 in the AFL.
Yep.
And his career average before this season was, as of right now, was still 20. So he's plus 7 on his, and that's including this season. So it's probably before this season, around this 18-19 mark. He is averaging 7.5 tackles per game, second most in the AFL total wise, and he has a career average of 5. So he's averaging 2.5 more tackles per game, 14 kicks per game. Guess what his career average was? 8. He's nearly doubled his kicks per game, and nearly 5 inside 50s a game from a player who's a defensive midfielder only a couple of years ago. I think Touk Miller's a lock for the Chemology Most Improved Player, and he's been fantastic for me.
Amazing. I don't mind it at all. I think Touk, has really taken his game to the next level, and he's shown how good of a runner he can be as well.
Endurance freak, yeah.
Yeah, he's just an absolute endurance freak. You look at the bloke and he's huge while he's running just absolute gas.
Yeah.
So, no, he's been really impressive this season, and he was actually a player I did look at. So, I was quite keen on him, but a player I decided to go with was a player who's changed positions. So, he was a defender. I don't know who he's drafted as, but he came in as a defender. And he's moved into the midfield, and he is just taking his game to the next level. As I said, he's helped his team win. They got to 4-0. They've sort of fallen off a little bit with some of the injuries they've had. But they've been playing immense, and he's been playing out of his skin. So that's Callum Mills. And this season, he's averaging 26 touches. And he's also, the one that I was really liking, he's averaging... I think it was 9.2 contested possessions and 5.2 clearances.
There you go.
So that is in the elite sort of standard.
Yeah.
But last year, I'm not just copying you, I did have a look at this before, and this was one of my reasons for doing it. So he's upped his disposals by 8 per game.
Yeah, it's huge.
So 1 more than Touk Miller. That's not a competition though. And he's also upped his contested possessions by 3. And also his clearances were 1.1 last season.
Wow, he's taking it to 5.
5.2.
That's huge.
So huge. He's playing as a great inside midfielder, and he's just he's hard in the mid, and he's also just absolute class on the outside. So, it's definitely Callum Mills for me. He's become a real elite tier midfielder, and I think he'll do pretty well in the Brownlow votes this year as the year goes on as well. Not that he'll win it, but... Very
nice. Great call. Now we'll wrap up the episode with our hot wings. I think you're going to go first. You're itching to do it.
No, I'm not.
I want to let you go first.
It's all right that you want to buy some time because you haven't come up with one, Cam.
Yes.
That's all right. But this week, I wanted to go with the Eagles to lose the Derby, but I've had another idea. I've come up with something.
Shoot.
It's going to be... No, I'm going to stick with it. So it's going to be Freo to win the Derby and Nat Fyfe to win the medal. So it's a huge call, but I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. Going to go Freo to win the Derby. Derby.
Okay, well, I'm going to steal a little bit of your Derby call there because I'm going to go with the next 2 weeks for the two Derbies.
Yep.
I'm going to go a double of Gaff medal into Ollie Wines medal for the next 2 weeks.
I like it.
So get both the Derby and the Showdown, and I think Gaff will get this one, and I think Ollie gets the one next week. So they'll take out the 2 individual state derbies. That's derby/showdown/ whatever you want to call them.
Whatever they are.
So that's my hot wing.
I like it.
All right.
Another great episode.
Well done.
Thanks for sticking around on the YouTube as well.
Hopefully my my phone hasn't died. I'm kind of stressing about that the last 5 minutes.
You mean your DSLR that we film it on?
Yes, sorry, my DSLR Canon 5000. So anyway.
5000D.
Yep. Anyway, thank you for listening to episode 10 of the Winger Podcast.
Thank you very much. Oh, make sure to follow us on social media such as Instagram.
At the Winger Podcast.
Follow us on TikTok.
At Winger Podcast.
Have a look at us on Instagram as well.
At Winger Podcast.
And also listen to us on Spotify.
At Winger Podcast.
Perfect. Thank you very much for listening.
Ta.